Do you want a guy to pay for the first date when you go on a date?
I always offer to pay.
But if a guy paid, like if a guy took you up on that offer, like
I want a man to
women,
pay.
women say, I offer as a token gesture, but don't actually expect or want the guy to pay anyways. And it would be an issue if the guy took you up on your token fake gesture.
If they took me up on it, it would just show me more about his perception and his viewpoints.
What's
and
his perception and viewpoint if he takes you up on the words that came out of your mouth?
Like, it's like, okay, you don't want to pay for a first date. Like,
And that says what?
it says you're broke.
Not necessarily, but in other words, you're saying...
If you asked me out, why would you not pay? I'm
So you
doing
do
you
want
the
a guy-
favor
Right,
of
but-
coming to the dinner.
How often? Have you ever asked a guy out for a first date?
Yeah.
Of all the first dates you've been on, how many, like what's the percentage breakdown?
Um,
How many, let's start with this. How many first dates have you been on?
maybe like 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
How many of those were you the one asking the guy out?
Maybe like 2.
2. Okay. So whoever asks. So your point about, well, whoever asks should pay, it would make sense if men and women were asking each other out at equivalent rates, but they clearly aren't. Men are overwhelmingly the ones that have to initiate. Most men, average men, are definitely not getting the experience of ever being asked out, period. Maybe like super attractive guys have women in their DMs, so forth. But I guess, so you do want men to pay for first dates, it sounds like.
I think it's a sign of respect.
Okay. And it's a sign of respect when a woman bows, cooks me dinner, and takes care of the household while I'm out working.
I think it can also be labeled as an assistant.
Okay, well, so would you also label it as like, I'm looking for a mom? Like if I want a woman to do my laundry, to cook for me, those sorts of things. So I've heard some women make a criticism of, you're looking for a mom, not a girlfriend, not a wife.
Yeah, sometimes that can be true too.
Okay.
And sometimes a lot of those guys have mommy issues, which is why girls are like, oh, you're looking for a mom.
Perfect. Question for you. When it comes to what you're looking for in a guy, you said you want a guy to pay for dates. Would you want a guy to
I didn't say I wanted them to pay for dates. The first date, it's a sign of respect, but do I expect them to pay for all the dates we go on? No.
Have you ever, the guy who was the S worker, would he pay for the dates?
Yeah, but I've also paid.
Sometimes, but mostly he paid.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still not quite equal. Do you want a guy who's a protector?
Yes.
Okay, you want a father figure. You just
No.
want a dad. You want a father.
I have a father. I have actually
Right, but
3.
but women who say, men who want women to cook, to clean, to do their laundry, take care of household chores, they're not looking for a wife, they're not looking for a girlfriend, they're looking for a mom. Well, then I can just turn this around on women and say, well, as a woman, if you want a guy to provide and protect, you're just looking for a dad, not a boyfriend, not a husband. So why is it that...
Should I feel unsafe in my own home? Should I feel unsafe walking down the street if I have a guy? Shouldn't he not protect me?
I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting those things and wanting a guy who can and will protect you. But what I'm saying is, you guys want men to adhere to our traditional gender roles.
Right.
But you don't want to adhere to yours. So when it comes to the expectation on men and men's duties in a relationship, it's might as well be the 1950s. For men, still have to provide, still have to protect. But when it comes to women's roles, it's all negotiable, totally negotiable.
Well, I think a man can cook, a man can clean.
A woman can protect herself. A woman can own a gun.
Yeah.
A
woman can make money and provide for herself?
Well, yes, I agree. I can make money. I provide for myself. I do protect
So
myself.
why do you want a provider and a protector if you can do it yourself?
I don't think it's more that I want that. I think if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I shouldn't have to go without being protected. Why would my partner not want to protect me?
I love it. So when I'm in a relationship, I want a woman who can cook and clean and take care of the household for me. Why should I not feel nurtured in that way?
I think it's more of like, that's all you expect out of it.
I expect a lot, trust me, from women.
Yeah, I can
But
tell.
wait, so is that a bad thing or a good thing? Explain. Is it bad that I have high expectations, or is it?
It's
am I
not.
asking too much? What do you?
I don't think you're asking too much, but I think it's just like the type of person. Like I expect more like emotional things out of a relationship, not superficial. It's not about the money. It's not about the protection. It's more about like the connection we have.
But you said if the guy doesn't pay for the first date, there won't be a second.
Yeah.
I never said there wouldn't be a second. I just think it shows a sign of respect.
Well, I think wouldn't it also be respectful for the woman to pay for the first date then? If paying for the first date is just about showing respect, then, well, I guess you'd have to make the argument to show mutual respect, both people just pay for their own food.
That's what I usually offer. It's like we can
But
Go
hold on. But
halfsies if
earlier
you
you said
want.
if the guy asks me out, he should pay, and then the offer sounds token to me.
I mean, if he's like, yeah, well, let's go halfsies, I'm like, okay. And then it's like,
Yeah, but is it negative brownie points?
kind of just shows where you're at financially.
The answer is yes.
It's
I mean,
gonna
you
be
do,
a-
but it is logically possible. Like, it's
test.
logically
Say how it
possible
is.
a billionaire could go on a date with a broke woman and be like, we're going to split the bill. Like, that's logically possible, right?
But then I kind of feel like he's like that I'm not worth his time. Like he's basically telling me you're not worth my money. Like you're not worth being spent on.
But he's spending his time on you.
And he probably spends his time with multiple other women.
I mean, that's a huge projection and a huge assumption. I don't know. Finding a quality date, I guess, would be step one in all that. I mean, a first date should be something relatively simple. I think my first date with my now husband was like, hey, come walk my dog with me, you know? And we got to know each other like that. I mean, eventually, like, as dates went on, yeah, no, he paid.
I mean, Brian's totally right. It seems like even feminists put men at the default of being traditional always. It's always the desire and the want to take
Gender roles
those.
go both ways. I understand that.
Right, but then it doesn't. But then women don't want to take on a traditional role, which is what he wants. Is pretty traditional. Women kind of tending to the household and catering to their men. That's what we've always done throughout history.
Raising the kids.
Raising kids.
I have a question
It's not that
for you.
complicated.
Sure.
So I kind of fall into more traditional mentalities when I date. I don't believe in that 50-50 shit, to be honest. I think a man should be a provider and protector. And
Okay.
I do agree and align with a lot of what you're saying, that a woman should provide to a household. But at the same time, I also consider myself a businesswoman, and I'm working so much. I'm a full-time student on top of that. Would you be satisfied if you and your partner were in a situation where you could pay for a chef, you could pay for a driver, you could pay for, people who are going to help with those housework tasks so she can focus on her passions and, loving you in a different way? Are you okay with
What's
that?
her passion?
Well, let's say that she, runs her own business. Let's say she's, an actress. Let's say she's a content. She does what you do and she has her own brand. Are you okay with that? Or do you want more just support in your partner?
Well, I suppose it depends. At what stage do you meet them? So it's once a woman's already like deeply involved in something, most men are probably going to have to make a concession on like, I mean, it varies. But if she's not already in that dimension, then that's not the kind of dynamic I'd want.
Okay.
But you're asking from my own personal perspective. So my own personal
Yeah.
perspective, I'm doing fairly well. I could fully cover everything. She doesn't have to work ever. So your question is pay for like a cook to come in?
Yeah, and I didn't even mean it in the sense that like, okay, now that you have people who are fulfilling these roles, she's just fucking watching Love Island all day and doing nothing. That's not what I meant. I meant more.
You got to keep her busy.
Yeah, I meant that. Let's say that she has other things that occupy her time that either fulfill her soul or brings in money or whatever. Would you be okay if she spent her time doing that rather than cooking or cleaning or things that could be fulfilled? Because at the end of it all, yes, I understand that those things are important to you, but don't you see that anybody can fulfill that? And in your partner, in your wife, you obviously like her for more than just, oh, she's proficient at these tasks. You think she's attractive and you like her personality,
Sure.
ideally.
Well, I would say that there does become a level of wealth where offsetting some of these tasks to somebody else, like it would almost be a no-brainer.
Right.
Like if I was a billionaire, I don't think I'd be like, okay, you're going to clean the house.
Yeah.
Like if I was a billionaire, I'm like, you don't need to clean the house. Although perhaps there's some circumstance where like the cleaner is busy today.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
you would like her to
If there is
step
something
up
that
in
needs to be
that.
cleaned and the cleaner, I mean, if you're a billionaire, you probably have like staff that lives in your house. So
Right.
it's hard to like put yourself in that paradigm of like that level of wealth.
Right.
So I think that level of wealth, of course, you're probably looking to your partner not to take on the like mundane house chores, but you're still going to look to her to defer to you, to defer to your leadership, to be submissive.
Okay.
But that's probably not going to necessarily entail like, okay, now you're going to like do housework that I can like pawn off to a third party. You can do it for a couple $100. Or have staff that's just paid salary or something. But I don't know. There's like, it depends to what degree you have third parties involved in your life. So I don't know. I might have her go get me something on the
Yeah.
other side of the house or something. I don't
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Like, I guess my question is, are you so traditional to the sense that you don't even want your wife to have a job? You want her full-time job to be taking care of your kids and, making sure the house
Right.
is in
That's
order?
a good point. So When we do have kids, though, because I was thinking more so prior to kids, but when we do have kids, we can have assistance, but I don't want to
Pawn your kids.
pawn
off,
the kids
basically.
off
Totally.
to the point where she then pursues some sort of career. I'd want her being the like full primary. She can have
active.
assistance, like if she needs somebody
Yeah.
there to help out with stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd still want her being the primary
Yeah,
role
I get that.
when it comes to raising the
course.
children.
Yeah.
So in that sense, if I was so wealthy to the point, yeah, okay, the cleaning, yeah, we can have somebody else take care of that. But when it comes to the kids,
Yeah.
then all of your attention that would perhaps, if I earned less, would have gone to these more mundane
Right,
tasks,
right.
cleaning, cooking.
Yeah.
We can have a chef.
I think
we
that's
can have
totally
a clean,
fair.
like people come in and clean, but you're going to then dedicate more of your time to the kids.
Yeah, I think that's a totally valid claim, honestly. And I would just like to ask, so from what I understand, you would like your wife to be the primary caretaker of your children. I'm just curious, how involved, obviously you would be the breadwinner in this situation that we're talking about right now. How involved would you like to be in raising your kids?
I mean, definitely involved, but it depends to what degree I'm working
Right.
or if I'm retired.
Right.
So, and I mean, I could give you my own personal, stance on
Yeah.
my own or my projection of where I think I'll be in a couple years.
Yeah,
or what I
manifest.
think like a guy who, it depends again on the level of income and wealth. That's going to factor in a lot in terms of your free time. Currently, I'm super busy with my work. I would still spend a good amount of time with children, but it would not be anywhere near approaching the amount of time that my girlfriend or whatever could be taking care of the kids.
Right.
So, but if I was retired, I'd spend a lot of time with the kids.
Yeah,
So,
it's a value of your
like if I
time.
retired early.
Yeah.
If I retired at 40 or something.
Gotcha.
I would also be spending a lot of time with the kids, because you got to raise some like little warriors or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to raise some warriors.
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 Yeah.
So I don't know.
And they're years that you don't get back too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's precious. I think
Yeah.
family's precious.
But there will probably be a period of time, I would say, at least when the kids are young, probably like it's hard to project, how things, anything, who knows what can happen. Business can change, whatever. But probably the first couple of years, probably not. I mean, she's going to be